Hello everyone, this is Maria from mariascraftingcorner.com, and I am really excited you're here with me today. We are going to be working today on our project number 3 for June's Paper Pumpkin Kit alternatives. And I am really excited because one of the cards I saw the first time at Lisa Crucia's YouTube channel, and if you don't know about her, just go ahead and check it out. She has wonderful tips and ideas and beautiful cards. So it's one of those cards that they are simple, but they just like have a super wow moment to it, I guess, to say it. They're just really cute. Anyways, the other one is just a simpler card where we're going to use some of the stuff that comes in the Paper Pumpkin Kit to create that card, of course. And if you don't know about Paper Pumpkin Kit is a Stampin'Up monthly subscription where for your $23.50 you get everything you need to create whatever projects are included in that kit that month. They usually come, and I always have my little box in here, in a little box like this, and that box will include anything. Although I will not open the box and show you everything it has, I will show you here in a minute what it brings, so you have an idea of what it brings. Sorry. I do want you to know that I try very hard to use only what is in the kit. I do bring my own tools. So for example, I will bring my trimmer, I will bring my scissors, maybe some different adhesives if I need something different. I will bring my take your pick tool and my bone folder. Let me bring it up here. These are amazing tools, and if you don't have it, you really definitely want them. So I will bring certain things of my own stash of stuff, but I will not bring things that I don't think you don't have. So for example, if you don't have a trimmer or some device to cut, then I would highly recommend you get Stampin'Up's trimmer. But I am assuming you have a way to calculate cards and cut them. Okay, so going back to let's go to the crafting table. There we go. Yay! Okay, so let me, first of all, this is our next our next Paper Pumpkin Kit that's coming for July. And as you can see, it has this beautiful sea, sand, beach theme, which I think is gorgeous. And if you go to the Paper Pumpkin Kit website, you will be able to participate in the quiz. I am not sure if it's already done, like if the time frame is gone. I think it's not, but you go ahead and try it. Follow the link below and participate in that quiz, and see if you're able to win a free Paper Pumpkin Kit. And I think that's wonderful. So beautiful thing that is coming. This month's Paper Pumpkin Kit is called Pick of the Crop, and what it brings a lot of, I wouldn't say veggies, but it's mostly fruits like strawberries and blueberries. And it just reminds me of the farmer's market, and just like that super cool vibe of going to get your groceries in peace and enjoying the day and whatnot. These are the cards you will get, these 3 cards, if you would do exactly as the instructions say. So you will have 3 card bases and everything to decorate those card bases, and on top of that you'll have the envelopes. I want to show you, maybe this makes it a little clearer. So every Paper Pumpkin Kit will bring the stamp set. It will bring what we call a stamping spot, and I'll show you here in a minute how it looks like. It will bring adhesive. It will bring, again, whatever you're going to need to create these cards. This Paper Pumpkin Kit brings extra a little canvas tote that I think is the most beautiful thing in the whole wide world. I love it. I love it. That you can stamp on, that you can play with completely. I'm not probably going to use it in our alternatives just because I'm thinking I want something really, really special for it. So, but I want you to know it brings that. Let me show you. This is the ink spot that we get. So it's like what? An inch and a half by inch and a half little spot. I will be using my own bigger stamping pad just because it's just useful, right? And on top of that, I don't want to open this one if I already have this one open. Does that make sense? I use these spots for when I have classes, when my nieces and nephews come over. It's just a great option to play with them. So I don't want to open them, but I have this one instead. So we'll use the same color, which is Calypso Coral. Every stamp, every kit will tell you here, and I want to put here, you can barely read, but it just says that colors that it will match. So Stampin'Up is known for creating everything very color coordinated. So what that means is that if you get a stamping pad that is Calypso Coral and you get the paper and you get the alcohol markers, you will get the same tone of every single time, or very, very similar. And that's that's really wonderful because it takes away all the, guessing of, oh, will this match with that color, will be the same. I don't know if it happens to you, but especially with reds in Christmas, right? So you buy this paper packet of stuff and it has all these reds, and the red of the cardstock that you have don't actually meet or match that those reds in that paper packet. Is just impressive how that goes. So very interestingly and very cool, Stampin'Up has taken care of that for you, and it takes all the guessing away. So I just wanted to let you know. Let's get started, and we'll be talking about some of the things that we'll be working as we go. So we are going to need disclaimer, the other thing that I bring extra is usually a piece of white cardstock or black cardstock, depending on the combination. If I really get like crazy, I will include maybe some cardstock on the same color. That, like for example, Calypso Coral in this case. I am not doing that usually, but sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I really want to try to see how it will look with this color. But I try to stick to white and black because my assumption again is that you have some white and black going on. So we have a piece of cardstock which measures 11 by 4.5. So this is exactly the half of one of the regular let's see, paper. So this is a regular size paper. It's 8.5 by 11. So this is just half of it. And let me do this real quick. I'm just going to go a tiny bit far away. And we are going to get this piece of cardstock and bring our trimmer, and we are going to score this at 5.5, which is, so we're going to align our 11-inch side towards the trimmer. And I love that this trimmer has, let me put this a little bit here, it has a little ledge here that allows us to place our cardstock and just get it there, and so we know straight all the way. And we're going to score there at 5.5, which again is the half of 11. Now we're going to move and score at 2 1/8. And so I am really looking, following the instructions by Lisa in her. Okay, I'm giving it a good score, and this is what we got. So we got one score line, and this one in the middle of here, and that one was again at 2 1/8. 1/4. Okay. Now, the only more complex thing we're going to do is so now we move these again to the smaller side, so the 4 1/4 side. We align again at 2 1/8, and we are going to make a little mark. So why 2 1/8? Let me bring this back up. So this is 4 1/4. 2 1/8 will be the exact half of that measurement. So I'm aligning it there, of course, because you know how life is. I did have a little, this is not gonna work. I'm gonna use my take your pick here to make a mark. It's not ideal. I left my pencil upstairs. So you can say, as you can see, oh my God, I can't talk. We just made a little mark there on the middle. And what we're going to do is we're going to align, which is going to be hard to see because we don't have the actual darker mark. So it's going to be harder for you, but here's my mark. And what we're going to do is we're going to align that mark with that first score line. I'm going to do this so you can see better. So it is there. Can you see it's a little folded? So that's the first score line. So that's where we're going to align that little dot too. And even I am having a hard time seeing them. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to fold it all the way so I can see the marks in there. And we're going to go ahead and align this. And this is where our trimmer, this trimmer is just so useful. We are going to cut that, and we'll go ahead and do the exact same thing on the other side. So we're going to align that dot, that is no longer a dot, but with that score line. We're going to use our trimmer, our view here, which is so useful for these more complex cards that need some assistance. I just love it. And I have said this in many other videos, and it is that when I started being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I really did not even use, I think this sounds a little bit funny, but I don't really use a lot of measurements. I kind of went like, oh yeah, let me show you here. Oh, this paper goes here, so I'll just mark here and there and cut there. It was not a very precise science, if you want. But once I got this trimmer, oh my God, it's just being such a beautiful way to work. So we are going to fold that in half. So in the first score line, and we're going to score. We're going to fold that really well. And then this triangle, we are going to go like this backwards. And this is the base of our card. I think this is just gorgeous. So we are going to use several papers. We're going to use some of these paper for the inside. We are going to use these card base that comes with the kit. So this part of the card base is going to go here, and oops, this part is going to be part of the actual I think, I don't know how you say it in English, I'm sorry, like rumbo, well, whatever, this part of the card. Sorry about that. I sometimes really suck at these translating pieces, it's just so funny. So what we are going to do now is we are going to create these pieces to put in here. Let's start with the inside, just because we have to work with our envelopes. And I have said this before, in order to be able to create some of those really cool envelopes, those cool cards that we work with, definitely I need some of the designer series paper, quote unquote, that comes with our paper pumpkin kit. Our paper pumpkin kit envelopes always bring a decorated envelope. And so as you can tell, this one has this beautiful, which is a little bit lighter than the Calypso Coral, but that matches perfectly our card base, right? Just a beautiful, beautiful combination. So, oops, I'm aligning this well. Let me move this here so you can see better. We know that this piece is 5.5 by 4.25. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these and these in there, and because I know that these should be somewhere along those lines. I'm gonna put that away for a minute. Take this leftover green, and we are going to make, oops, that's stuck in there. We're going to make these fit for this. Okay, so I'm going to make that to fit in here. So since that is 4.25, two things. We want these, I want the stripes to go up, so vertical. If you want it differently, you may have an issue because the paper doesn't give you that option, but no matter what, I want that. And I'm just noticing that, so you are aware that always when you're working with pattern papers, you need to be conscious of the direction of the paper. So since this is 5.5, we know that we need 5 and 3/8. So I'm cutting that to 5 3/8, and the rest of the card is 4.25. So I'm gonna cut it at 5, at 4 and 3/1/8. And so this piece is going to come here, and it's just going to create a beautiful background for our stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this. And I'm going to bring my Stampin' Seal Plus. I made, let me see, so today is Thursday, June 30th, and for my live on Tuesday the 28th, I'm sorry, I used this, I made this beautiful card. I will link it up here in case you're interested, but it had a lot of like adjusting corners, so I use glue, which is a new thing for me. I'm not a glue fan. I'm a glue fan because it's really flexible and it allows you some flexibility when it comes to, you know, adjust your paper and really put it in the right way. But I don't, because I'm just so messy. I love my Stampin' Seal Plus, but today we're going to use this one. So this one will go here like so, and then I'm going to start cutting this. We're going to cut this in half, and we're going to use them separately. Again, I have my cheat sheet here for you guys. I'm sorry, it happens often. I always have a cheat sheet to work with me, so I can make it easier. So we're going to work here. Let me bring this piece of paper is going to be a square, and this is 2/7/8 by 2/7/8, and so I'm just going to go ahead and cut here at the 7/8, and you can use this side of the trimmer to kind of calculate where those 2/7/8 are. If you are like me and don't have a really good eyesight, then just like follow between that 2.25 and 3, and that will most likely work. And now we're going to move these back again to the 2/7/8. And if you, for whatever reason, didn't make it all the way through, it's okay. You can just use your scissors, your paper snips, and cut it through. And I'm just going to cut a tiny bit here. I don't know if you can see it. Probably not, because it's just a tiny bit. But this piece we are going to put in here. So it shows this beautiful combination between the this paper that is not designer series paper, but the envelope, and what we're going to put in here. Now this piece, let's go ahead and bring this piece. Okay, so we are going to cut the let me move this. What am I doing, Maria? I'm going to cut these at 4 and so it goes back here. This would have been 4.5, right? If we didn't cut this, 5.5. But we took we're going to take an 1/8 as always. So this is going to count as 4. And then it's going to be 4 here by, 4 here on my Maria. So this is 4.25. It's going to be 4 1/8. And this here is going to be 3 1/8. So hopefully that works. Now, same as before, let's be mindful about the position of the paper. So I'm going to start with these in here. So 4 1/8. And I'm doing it this way because I really, really like this paper and I can use it somewhere. So that is the one. And then it's 3 1/8. Just want to make sure that it's so. I think so. Okay, 3 1/8. So I'm going to cut a tiny bit more, 3 1/4, for a couple of reasons. The first one is making sure it fits where it should fit. And it does. And see, I was right. It needs a little bit more. It was perfect. So this one needs to be 3 1/4. But I am going to take these. It's just this sliver, but it had still a little bit of that beautiful but not useful pink. Okay, so we will not notice the difference. So let's put this card together as is, and then we'll decorate it. Okay, let's see. So I'm just going to, what I do, if it helps you, I struggle with putting things straight. So I just put my Stampin' Seal Plus on these sides and leave these other sides completely without glue or without, adhesive, so I can handle this much easier. Now in this case, we gotta be careful that this is the upside, so let's not lose sight of that when we are putting this. And it's so much easier once I do it that way. At least for me. I don't know what works for you, but that works really well for me. Okay, so we have that one there, and then we'll bring this one in here. And we said this one is 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, and we're going to put glue just on the sides here. So we're going to put this away. And there's a good issue in this. This is a square, so if you by any chance make a mistake, you will be able to correct it. So I'm going to put some glue here, some Stampin' Seal Plus, not glue, on that side, and we are going to go and put this in here. So we are aligning everything in a way, mostly. You know what? I've always said, don't do it like so. Why am I doing it? When you have your card fold, for some reason, at least in my case, it's so much more complicated to put the paper. So just move it a tiny bit, open the card, and adjust as needed. But if you open the card, it's so much easier, I think. So I'm aligning these two corners to the score line. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to make sure of one thing. Although this is supposed to be a square, I am feeling, the feeling. See, this is not a square. That happens, huh? Okay, it should be 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. This is not, I don't know what I was thinking. I probably didn't see right. This is 2 7/8 on one end, but the other end's a little bit smaller. It's like a whole ½ inch smaller. I don't know what that happened or how that happened. We can make this work just cause, but I just want you to be mindful. I could see it that there was some issues, but we're just going to do the best we can with what we got. I don't want to not destroy. I don't want to use another card base, but that will do good enough. Okay, there we go. So what we're going to have is this beautiful card. Isn't that super cute? And by the way, super simple. So the next step we are going to bring is one, not this one, just kidding. I'm going to bring another piece of paper that's going to be 2 3/4. Okay, let me reframe that. No, yep, 2 3/4. So let's see, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Okay. And I'm gonna go mostly to 3 and 2 3/4. I don't know how that happened. I probably was not paying enough attention, which is not unknown. Okay. So now this is a real square. And this real square we're going to place in here where this square that is not square goes. So bottom line, you can put your sentiment where the square goes. And so I'm just going to align this a little bit better. Hold it, make sure that this front piece covers this piece underneath. And for these cases, I always use glue because I already have a good position of this piece, right? So I don't like to struggle with a lot, so I just will use glue to go ahead and get those. And then you have, that way you have an area to write your, put extra sentiments, to sign in your card, all that good stuff. Okay, so now that is all glued in. Now ahead of time, this time I did that so my video is not hours long. I did cut some of the stuff ahead of time, and because it involves some fussy cutting. So the stamp set, and let me bring the stamp set here, which is the star. It brings these beautiful flower piece, and I'm bringing all the pieces I fussy cut earlier. So I cut 4 of them, and I don't know if you can tell, but all of them have different colors. And the way I did that is, and I'm going to show you here, is stamping off and then stamping and cutting on that color. So that way your ink is going to provide you with different colors within just one ink. And let me bring this piece of cardstock here. So this is what I did. Bottom line, I cut my paper, my stamp. I stamp it there, and then I stamp off. So what you get is a much lighter version. Let me show you up here, of the previous one, and so you have 2 different tones that you can play with. Super useful, especially when you're trying to do something like the paper pumpkin kit alternatives without trying to add anything into it. I did that for these, of course, and like I said, I chose not to, I fussy cut them. I didn't want to cut them in here while you're watching, because it's just a lot of time. I did the same for my hello. I fussy cut it ahead of time, and I did fussy cut these little piece from one of our pieces here in let me show you, in our kit. So this beautiful kit brings this amazing card. I am in love with it. Thankfully, Stampin' Up put 4 of them instead of just 3. And so what I did is I just cut this piece on its own, okay? And now we're going to just go ahead and decorate here. This is a little bit simple. Oh, I always say paper has 2 sides, so if you make a mistake, don't be shy. Use the other side and you most likely it will work. So my whole idea is we're going to put this beautiful I guess it's like a plant with some strawberries and whatnot. And again, I don't know if, oops, I don't know if you can see it, but these two are darker, so I'm going to use one darker and one light per side. I'm just playing now with where and how I want these. I want these two up here a little bit in further inside. So this is well enough, but I need to be careful with this one because we don't want them to go over the card. And so this is more or less what I am envisioning. I'm still moving this a tiny bit. This can go because this area is a little bit longer. And then we'll put our beautiful hello up here. Okay, so let's get gluing. So I'm going to use only the bottom and go ahead, and I am just going to calculate this in here because we need that to fit in there. And well, that was not supposed to go that way, but we're going to do the exact same thing. And I'm going to move, we talked about the glue being so flexible, right? We're going to move those, and that's why I love glue. It's definitely so useful when it comes to that. And we're going to glue these, and what I do, I don't know if you did see that. Let me show you. So I got my little piece, right? I put it more or less where I want it, and with my finger I put where these edge ends, and so I just know that I can put glue all the way in behind my blue, or oh my god, behind my finger, Maria. So that way I know that that glue won't go over. And so what happens is it's going to look like so when it moves and it comes back. I think that's really cute. Thank you, Lisa, for your creative ideas. I am going to use, so the kit brings some twill thread, however you want to call it. I really am not good at calling this thing, but oh, you know what? Let me see this. It says, oh, it doesn't have a name. Well, it was a good try. I'm just going to get this twill thread, go over a couple times, hold it there in the middle, and I am just going to use this in the middle. So just to create a little bit of interest, I am going to place it not in the same orientation as the plants or the little twigs. I'm going to put it in between so you can see it in here. And to do that, I am going to bring I'm going to start calling them fake gems because I have such a kick out of that, where you have, they come with every paper pumpkin kit mostly. Oops. And I kept looking at them and I'm like, what are these things? Like, I don't understand why they put this white things. And then later on in life I found out that they are glue dots. And yes, I have gotten a kick out of that for myself. It's just so funny. Okay, so we have that with oh, here it is. I was scared I lost it. I'm going to use some dimensionals which the kit brings to put these on top, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put one dimensional on top of that thread so it holds it. So I am shooting for this to be in the middle, and I know there's a lot of dimensionals for one little piece. I hear you. You don't have to tell me. I always struggle putting far too many dimensionals on. I always think of them, if I put enough, it wouldn't just disassemble when I send them. And so we're going to put this in here, and that we're going to get all those loops around like so. Okay, and I just love it. And I am moving the loops a little bit because this hello is going to be here. And so I am going to move these probably. Let's see if I can move it a tiny bit in here. Bear with me. There you go. So that way I can put this hello up here on dimensionals as well. So what we're going to do, as you can see, this hello doesn't need dimensionals on this area because it will be stuck to here. It will need dimensionals on the back, on the lower part. So I'm calculating, I'm looking at this really well and putting my finger and making sure that it has glue where I think it's going to need it, and that will do, like so. And I'm going to leave it there, and I know it's backwards, but oops, okay, fine. It works just better for me when I do it sometimes that way. And here's another dimensional just here, and we're going to go ahead and put this there where the mess was created. And now that was the piece I want to tell you about. Be careful, and I was not careful on my own. So let's move that little dimensional backwards, and because you need this dimensional not to be in here, because otherwise this will stick to this piece. So I am actually going to remove that dimensional again. Sorry about that. And we are going to, I'm grabbing another one. I am going to take that little piece extra out. And what I'm going to do actually is put the dimensional actually this way, directly on the card base, so I can see where it is and it doesn't get there. And now I have my card. What do you guys think? Isn't it super cute? So you open it here, and we're going to stamp here. I'm just going to go ahead and use this little, I don't know how to call them. I think they kind of belong to the strawberries. I think that's the goal. I am just going to try them here and just going to put some fun spots all over. And yes, I don't mind it's there, because the reality is it all belongs to the same spot, and I just like it that way. Of course, you do you, same as always. And I'm going to bring this beautiful sentiment that says you are the sweetest. You know, always try them in here. Now, if you've followed me by some time, you know I can't do anything straight. So my trick to that is put them already crooked, right? So instead of putting this in the center, which would make a whole lot of sense, I'm just going to put it in here, crooked. And so you can write in here, and there's your card. I absolutely love it. Like, I cannot tell you how much I like it. Such an easy to do with such a wow thing, and then you'll have all the time all this beautiful stuff in here. Okay, so this is our first card. Woohoo! Thank you, Lisa. Now I am bringing already another piece that belongs to me paper pumpkin kit, but it's just a 8.5 by 5.5 piece, right? It even already has a score, because you know that's what happens. Let me show you what I have. So I have all these pieces already. So bravo, Maria. Every time I do the paper pumpkin kit, for whatever reason, I'm always so disorganized. So I was really striving today to make this a little bit different. As you can tell, this has a tiny bit of so let's go back to this. This is 5.25 by 4.25 by 5.5. I don't know what's happening to me today. So this is pretty much measures the exact size of the card. So we're going to cut it 1/8 smaller. And that means 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Okay. Now, if you don't want to use measurements, you can always use this other side. So instead of thinking, oh, how much is it? You just go here, you know that this first little sign in here is the 1/8, and you just cut it there. Just go there, a line there, and you know that's 1/8. You don't have to make any calculations. It is always important to know. So this is going to go exactly here, and it should be a little 1/8 smaller. And we're going to use our Stampin' Seal Plus, right? And we're going to go ahead and put this one in here. Now, I am sorry, I didn't say where that piece came from, and I'll talk to you about here in a minute when I'm done calculating if it's centered enough. So that green piece comes from one of the card bases. And I think I used this one in my first project. So if you didn't watch it, check it up here. I'm going to link it out there. So I just cut this in half, use this area, and this was left over. So I am using that now. Let me give it a good burnish here to that score line. Now, I'm going to move all my pieces here, and we're going to have a talk about what they are. This piece is the top of the card, and I don't know if you remember that card. Let me bring it. So this piece is this top of the card. Because I took this little planter with the fruits and whatnot, because I took it off, then I was left over with some extra, so I decided to use this piece, and we're going to use this piece as a planter. I think that's funny. And then this is part of the cutouts that come with the kit. So we're going to use this one, and we're going to use it inside because, you know, they're going to be inside. And this other piece is, again, this piece belongs to the same card here. So I had used this in my first card, my first project, I guess, and I cut these out, and now I have them here. So I'm just going to include them here, and I'm going to tell you why. One of the reasons why I like them in here is because that yellow, it was too blue and red, and I was craving for some pop, and it was that yellow brought the pop. So I'm just going to add that piece here like so. We're just building the card as is, and this is going to go there. So we're going to make this big basket with all those things. Now this is going to be a little simpler in that sense. I brought this flower, which I love. I keep thinking they're lavender. They're probably not, but it's fine. And these are cutouts too, and this is where we're going to put our sentiment, and I am not sure where I'm going to put it, if it's going to be there, if it's going to be here like there, but that's where we're going to put our sentiment. And let's stamp that right away if I find it. Here it is. So I have the You're the Sweetest, and I am just going to use that same sentiment to put in here. We're going to go ahead and align this as straight as possible, and we're going to go and try straight, and it works. Sometimes it works, and I'm always very surprised when it does. It's just a funny thing. Okay, I'm just cleaning a little bit my stamps. I'm moving that out of the way. So this friend, I'm just going to put it in here like there, and that's the card. Isn't that really, really simple? The only thing I think I want is some ribbon here, some of this twill thingy, and I don't have a whole lot left because I've been using a lot of it, but I just think that maybe a big loop or something like that will make a difference, just to make it fun. Okay, let's move these out of the way. That's stamped. Let's go ahead and stamp and glue this. So I want this one up there, and this one goes down there. And I am going to use my grid paper to align this and make sure that this is straight, so these are not crooked. And although it doesn't matter if the veggies are crooked, of course, right, for obvious reasons, the veggies, when you see a card or when you see something there, they may be crooked. That's not a big deal, but you wanted at least these pieces, so the basket, to be straight. And then I'm going to put these in here, and I am using glue for all of this in case I need some movement or adjustment. So there we go. It's a little bit crooked. I don't know if you can see it. I can, so I'm trying to make it uncrooked. I see that this is a little bit scored there, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue there so it glues. And now we're going to put this. Now these pieces, I want it to be not on dimensionals yet. We'll probably do the rest a little bit popped up. So we're going to do this, and I'm making sure that all of it like kind of fits within our basket, right? So there we go. Now let's bring, whoops, I'm gonna put this one here. And you know what, actually the kit brings some vellum, and I just thought that was brilliant. Let me see if I can find it. I was not thinking of the vellum, but it is a good idea. Let's see. So it brings some vellum just to give it a little pop, I think. So we're going to put it there, maybe there, so we can get a little bit of that. So let's glue the, ooh, look at that. We have a friend that wants to go in the card. That does not go in the card. We're going to center this, and we're going to put this one in here. And I kept thinking a little bit more like there. And we're going to use glue. I'm going to stick the glue to the areas where the smaller piece is at, not where the vellum, because you will be able to see the glue through the vellum, right? Okay, so that goes there. And now we can play a little bit with these. So this is a smaller piece, like I mentioned. We are going to glue it, just kind of, it looks almost like a bow, but I know you guys know already that I am really impaired when it comes to bows, so I just let it be. I don't try any harder. Oh, before I do that, of course, I'm gonna glue these beautiful flowers. I'm really in love with them. Again, it gives, I love lavender. I don't know, guys, what you guys think. I just love lavender. So I'm going to move these all the way to the edges. So what it means is I'm using even off the green area. I'm going to bring our little bowish and put another glue dot, maybe in here. And then maybe another one in there. Well, the glue dots stick to my finger. That's not very useful. Let's remove all this. Let's see. Okay, this is not working very well. So there we go. Try 2. There it goes. Okay, try 3. I'm gonna move that. I'm going to use my take your pick, because why am I making this so complicated? I don't even know. Take your pick. We got 1. How much simpler was that? Yeah. So we got 1, and let me undo this one. So we got those 2 glue dots, and we're going to do more or less the same thing anyways that we did before. We're going to put this one up here, maybe there, with some dimensionals, but we're going to use that dimensional, one of the dimensionals, to stick to help that stick. And I am going to use what we call mini dimensionals just because this is not a very big piece. And let's see. As you can tell, they're a tiny little bit smaller. And I'm just going to use them on the sides, and I'm going to use a bigger one for these, for the blueberry part. So we have some here, some there, and that one in the middle. And I want to see, I'm just trying to see which one I like, what position I like the best. Okay, and that is our second card. Super simple to make, not anything overboard. I do love this one. I like this one, don't get me wrong, but I think I'm a little partial because I like this color. So we have two very beautiful cards made only with what's in the kit. This one has a little wow to it. Again, thank you, Lisa. And this is just putting some of the veggies and the fruits together and using the leftovers of that card. I really hope you liked the video. If you really like it, give it a thumbs up. Let me move myself. Oops, just kidding. There I am. If you like the video, do give it a thumbs up. It helps us a lot here in YouTube, and I do appreciate it. If you like the general content of the channel, subscribe to it. I do lives every Tuesday and then upload paper pumpkin kits every Thursday, and most Saturdays I do an extra video of I'm gonna call it like Beginners 101. It's just a workshop or a time where we can like really review some of the very basics of card making and paper crafting. So if you're interested, again, I try to upload them every Sunday. Last Sunday I was not able to, but they will be there here and there. I'm pretty sure. I'm fairly consistent at putting the videos in the order. So a couple of announcements. We already have our new catalog, so the celebration and the mini catalog. They have so many beautiful things. You really don't want to miss them. And let me bring them right quick. These are, let's show you. Let me go back to the table here. So this is the celebration. This is what you're going to get for free. And I'm just going to go slowly. So for a $50 purchase, you're going to get the hippo stamps or the dies, which means that for $100 purchase, you can get them both. And I don't know, you can tell, this is amazing. These dies are really amazing. It brings not only the hippos, but it brings like a little tub, a little boat dish, an umbrella. Like, it has a lot of really useful dies. You will also have, look at this beautiful paper, and I'm just going to bring it up here. Also for a $50 purchase. Then they have, and I really like this, they have these card bases and envelopes. So you have 20 card bases. Let me move this a little bit. 10 in this pool party, and then 10 in the so saffron. Beautiful, beautiful options. And look at the envelopes. You can work with the envelopes just as we've been working too. There is also this free for your $50 purchase, this beautiful fox and ducks. Very, very cute. I like them. Then for your $100 purchase, you get this amazing phrasing, is how it's called. It's just stamped with wonderful phrases. I absolutely love them. So for example, it says, hey, you are amazing, woohoo, to another year. Like, there's all sorts of combinations, you can work with them. Then also for the $100 purchase, you can have these dies for free. They are called tree lot dies, and I love it. Has like this old camper and the trees and some twigs, and it's just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. You can see here some of the cards that our designer team made. Beautiful options, really beautiful. And then finally we have these beautiful, it's called Wonderful World, and so it brings the paper and the stamp set for your $100 purchase. And this paper, I have to tell you guys, is gorgeous. It's beautiful, beautiful, and the stamp set is just really beautiful as well. So I just want to bring that up for you. And we also have our mini catalog, and we're going to delve into the catalog probably next week in the live, I'm thinking. So you can look into it. But some of the catalog favorites, I love the Santa Express suite. It brings some really beautiful memory cards and envelopes, and the paper is just beautiful all on its own. But we're going to delve in it together later because this is a little bit longer. But again, it's available to you if you would like a free catalog or both catalogs. Please send me an email to maria@mariascraftingcorner.com, and I'll be more than happy to assist you, to send them to you for free. And go to my website and check on the rewards, subscribe to my newsletter, and also if you follow the link below, you will be able to subscribe to July's Paper Pumpkin Kit, which I showed you earlier with the sea theme. Okay, let me go back to me. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And again, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you get notifications of when I'm going uploading videos or going live. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.